If there's one thing I learned from watching Amazon's The Rings of Power, it's that sometimes you just can't outdo the original. Even with 2 decades of technological innovation, and like the most insane budget ever, the TV show completely failed to capture the magic of Peter Jackson's original Lord of the Rings trilogy. But if there is one good thing that Amazon brought about, it's returning Lord of the Rings to the public eye, and that gave LEGO the excuse they needed to start working on the one set to rule them all, the glorious Rivendell. If you compare this version to LEGO's 2013 Council of Elrond, I think you'll see that the design of these sets has come a long way in the past decade. But can the same thing be said of the minifigures? Well, we had better take a closer look. The 2012 to 2013 LEGO Lord of the Rings minifigures are some of the most coveted on the market. A new version of King Theoden will set you back $75, the Mouth of Sauron $90, and Grima Wormtongue $150. You get the idea. The prices are insane, obviously, but not completely without reason. At the time, the figures were easily some of the most detailed ever produced by the company. There was no shortage of new prints, new hair pieces, new capes, new accessories, and armor pieces. LEGO went all out to make the figures as accurate as they could be, and they have undoubtedly stood the test of time. So I've been very much looking forward to comparing these classics to the new minifigures included in the 2023 Rivendell. We'll start out with Frodo. The 2012 figure with the green cape was included in Attack on Weathertop and costs around $15 used today. The torso prints of both minifigures are remarkably similar with only subtle differences. Overall, the 2023 version is just cleaner, with less lines and detail than the original. The biggest change in the minifigures, of course, is the addition of dual molded short legs, which is a huge step up, and I think makes the 2023 version the superior Hobbit. Both have similar alternate expressions as well. Next is Samwise Gamgee. The 2012 figure appeared exclusively in Shelob Attacks, but you can get him for around $15 or $20. I say that like it's cheap. For Lord of the Rings minifigures though, that's quite the steal. Anyway, there's a few more differences this time around between the characters, such as the controversial hair color swap. Looking at stills from the film, I can see it going either way. I'm just so used to that medium nougat though. The 2023 version now has dark orange hair. The main expressions are almost identical on these figures, and I do like the new sand blue cape. The torsos are quite different as well, but I have to say the original 2012 print looks and feels more like Sam. It just makes him feel rounder and shorter, which I think is so appropriate for a Hobbit. Again, both have great and very different alternate expressions. Then we have Pippin. Pippin wasn't exclusive to the 2012 Mines of Moria. Being included in a larger set drives up the price on the figure to about $30. Much like the other 2 Hobbits, you'll see the continuing trend of an overall cleaner look from the 2023 version, though I think both end up being excellent looking torsos. Where the 2023 version really shines though, in my opinion, is with the face prints, which really do an excellent job of capturing the look of the character. For me, the new one is the winner here. And our last Hobbit that we're going to be comparing is Merry. Meriadoc was also included with Attack on Weathertop and remains particularly desirable with a price of around $40 today. The 2 figures here have pretty similar designs for the torso, but the new one is undeniably more subtle in the golden shirt detailing. Merry was also on the other side of the hair swap, and yeah, I don't know what happened to my 2012 Merry face. I got it used, what can I say? Too bad the head alone costs $30 to replace on Bricklink. Overall, I think the 2023 Hobbits are the better versions. The new legs are amazing, and I think the updated face prints channel their respective actors really well. Though I do miss the extra level of detail the 2012 torsos provided, and that older art style does a more effective job of conveying the squat nature of the hobbits. Let's check out Gandalf next. The 2012 Gandalf is probably the most easy Lord of the Rings figure to acquire because of his appearance throughout the LEGO Dimensions line. While very well done, he's got nothing on the 2023 version with the printed dress piece. And not only that, but the option to still have him sit down makes the newer version an easy win. Another figure with a brand new printed dress piece is our Council Elrond. The original version is from the 2013 Rivendell set we briefly looked at earlier. For wearing the same costumes, I feel these figures could not be more different. The 2023 Elrond's robes are amazing, but the 2013's cape, face, and hair are exquisite. The special hair crown piece is such a huge plus, and I think the face print looks much more like Hugo weaving than the new versions does. And a double-sided cape? Yes, please. I think I'll put the 2013 cape, head, and hair on the 2023 torso and legs to create the ultimate Elrond. Arwen finds herself in a similar situation. The 2023 version has a beautiful dress, but the face print I think is the worst in the entire Rivendell set. Goofy, toothy-grinned Arwen is just too much for me. The face print was originally introduced in 2016 for Tina Goldstein in a Dimensions pack. I'm not sure it was a great fit for her either, but reusing it here just doesn't work at all. I think this goes to show we need more variety when it comes to female faces. The 2013 version of the figure is a clear winner here with a beautiful custom hairpiece and a much better set of face prints. Of course, we have one other elf, and that's Legolas. The original version I have here is from a Dimensions pack, but there's another edition of the character with longer cheek lines that was included in Pirate Ship Ambush in the Mines of Moria. I'll be honest, the 2023 one looks kind of silly here to me too. It doesn't read Orlando Bloom to me nearly as much as the 2012 character. My wife brought up a good point that part of the issue may be in the new hairpiece, which seems to leave a lot of exposed forehead. The torso prints are good on both, but I think I prefer the 2012 version all around. Let's take a look at Gimli next. His 2012 version is pretty easy to find as he was generously included in 4 Lord of the Rings sets, and you can find the figure for about $8 still today. The 2023 figure has a variety of changes, including a new helmet design, new beard, new axes, and medium legs. I find a lot of this to be to the figure's detriment though. The squatness captured in the original makes him feel so much more like Gimli, and I love how the helmet becomes almost buried into that beard. The original helmet also features a greater amount of molded detail compared to the new one, and I will take that over printed detail any day. The new version also does not include a double-sided head, but I do love the new axe pieces though. Other than that, the 2012 version is the winner here. Next up, we have Boromir, another Mines of Moria exclusive. I was able to pick up this figure for $20 at Brickworld a few years ago, which I thought was a pretty bad price, but considering he's about $35 today, I guess I did alright. In all honesty, I love both versions a lot. I think the consistent dark blue of the 2023 version in both the torso and the legs makes for a better, cleaner looking figure, and I love the new sword and shield. But ultimately, no complaints here, and I think either will make a great addition to your Lord of the Rings collection. And lastly, we come to Aragorn. Man, I love Aragorn. Viggo is a beautiful man, and I think once again, both figures do a great job of capturing his likeness. The original Aragorn is relatively common, being included in 3 sets, but he'll still set you back around $20. One thing I've noticed here especially is that the way LEGO has printed on hip pieces with these 2023 figures is just much nicer. You can also see a side-by-side of the swords and how they've changed over the past decade. Both figures here, once again though, are great. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed our look back on the classic Lord of the Rings figures. I think this little experiment just goes to show how spectacular the original figures really were. Many have been improved on in 2023, I think especially of figures like the Hobbits and Gandalf, but sometimes you just can't beat the charm of the originals. Regardless, I am so happy to see the return of LEGO Lord of the Rings, and I hope we see more sets and more minifigures in the future. I will not rest until I get an official LEGO AON. There's so much potential from such a theme, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Thanks to LEGO for sending me a copy of the beautiful Rivendell, and thanks to all of you for watching. Have yourself a great life, and I'll see you next time.